Hello gamers, and welcome back to Beyond the Emulator. I'm your host Dylan, and this is another episode of Retro Recap. In today's review, I'm going to be breaking down some TrimUI firmware news that I've been testing over the past few weeks. First, I'll be diving into muOS, where I'm going to be showing off another great application from the developer of Scrappy. It's the game we all know, 2048, but with a unique twist. Stay tuned for that. Next, we'll be heading over to the Pak Store and NextUI firmware to showcase some fantastic applications and tools. These will give your TrimUI Brick, Hammer, TSP, or TSP-S even more customization features. To all the developers who created these packs and applications, thank you for keeping the TrimUI Smart Pro, Smart Hammer, Brick alive and kicking in the retro gaming scene. I've included links to all these packs and applications in the description below. So sit back, grab your favorite TrimUI handheld, and follow along as we tweak your setup for peak performance. We're going beyond the emulator. And if you enjoy these handheld deep dives, please drop a like and consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much for your support. Now, without further suspense, let's get started. Hello gamers, and so for my first segment I'm going to show off muOS software, Funky Jacondra, and the game 2048. So what I've done is I've recently uploaded to my device the most current version, so we're going to go ahead and reinstall it again. So I've actually removed the old version. I'm going to show you it's 2048 Plus. I'll include the link that's on their GitHub so you can actually add that to your muOS collection. We're going to go ahead and install it. There were some previous versions that were made. This is the most recent one that he just launched. 2048 Plus. So it's been installed. We're going to go ahead and do B for back. We're going to go ahead and select it in our applications. Nice little front screen. And we've got a settings menu. So we've got play game. We've got select theme, light. You can change it by pressing A. We can switch themes with the Y button. So you have a few choices. We're going to go with the dark. We'll go ahead and press select. We've got achievements and stats. So it looks like a very similar type thing like retro achievements. By playing the game, it'll unlock other themes. A tutorial to kind of explain to you how to play 2048. And actually while you're in it, you can press A to go next to the next page, as well as you can change the theme color. So there's the two themes that we have currently until we unlock some more. We're going to go ahead and get B to back out. If you've never played, this would be the tutorial you'd want to use before you start. Settings, we'll go and select there. We've got sound is on. Text size normal. We can select it to larger, which is nice. Your gameplay animation, you've got speed at normal and fast and instant and slow based on how your gameplay might be. Transitions can be on or off. You can do a little bit of a cheat here by undoing a limit. You can make your selections there to unlimited or one move. Your time attack for one of the particular extra games that are on here, you can set your max limit to 60, 90, or 30 seconds. We'll just leave them as the defaults. So you've got vibration on, CRT shader off. We'll go ahead and select it. As you can see, kind of gave you more of a grid line and back. We'll go ahead and select that and about. So this was designed by the same developer that created Scrappy for muOS, and if you'd like to support his projects, go ahead and hit the QR code. We'll go ahead and back out of this. Let's get into some gameplay. So we're going to go ahead and select play game, and as you can see there's three different select game modes. We've got the classic, which is the standard. We've got plus mode, which has actually got power-ups, undo, shuffle, and block cleanup. And then we've got the arcade mode, which has got four modes available inside. Time attack, no mercy mode, huge mode, which is 5x5, where the normal is 4x4, and goose mode. So we'll start from the beginning. We'll start with select game mode. So for game mode, we'll just hit classic mode, our normal. And by just hitting it, we've already unlocked a theme. But you can see if we wanted to change our color, now we've got blue. That's actually an added theme because we unlocked it. But you've got the gist of how this game plays. We all know how it works. And you've got your score at the top, and then it's going to save your best. So if we go ahead and get out of this by pressing start, and we go ahead and quit by X, as you can see now, my best score is 40 at this present time for the current game I'm playing. So kind of gives you where you're at. And if I want to go ahead and click A, it's going to jump me right back into the game. So let's go ahead and hit a couple of the other options of games that he has to offer. Plus mode, let's go ahead and select that one. So here, down below, you see a few options. L1 is a swap, so it allows you to swap two tiles. R1 is for a bomb, so if you press R1, it's going to blow up one of the tiles that you've selected. And for B, you've got an undo. Each of those have already been earned at the beginning of the game, but after you've used it, you have to earn more during the game. So I have played this previously, one before, and it was able to allow me to get, after I used one swap, to gain another swap. I have not earned a second bomb after I've used it, or an undo, but as far as our gameplay, nothing's going to change as well. But it is going to give us a few other options. So if I wanted to press B to do an undo, I'm going to press B. It's just going to take me back to that one. Now you notice that undo has 0 options there. If I wanted to do R1 to do a bomb, I can select a tile. We're going to go with 4. I'm going to press A, and boom, it disappeared. So my bomb has disappeared. And if I wanted to do a swap, I'm going to go ahead and select my 2. I'm going to scroll down to my 4, and they've swapped. And as you can see, now there's 0 to them until I've earned another one. So there's an example of that mode of a gameplay. We'll go ahead, and that's the plus mode. And we'll move over to the arcade mode and give you 4 examples of how those work. Time attack. We actually had it already set at the default of 60 seconds. So we'll go ahead and proceed with that. We've got 60 seconds to play this game and see how well we can do. So we'll go ahead and press start, get out of that one, and we'll go with no mercy mode. That's a no undos and 2 tiles spawn per move. Go ahead and select that. As you can see, it's a much quicker game. We don't have a time being put at it, but it's putting a lot more on the board a lot quicker. It can bring up your points a lot higher. There's an example of that. And you can see that my best scores are already showing up on there. And then we've got huge mode, which is designed to be a 5x5 board, and achievements are disabled on this one. So again, this is an arcade mode. Much bigger screen. And you can see the speed moving a little bit faster. If we wanted to switch our theme, we just press Y and go through it while we're playing. There's an example of that for huge mode, 5x5. And then lastly, we're going to hit the arcade mode of goose mode, where our goose blocks the random cells. Honk. Go ahead and select it. So now you have the goose is going to be 1 tile during the game. It's always going to be obstructed by randomly moving around in places, just making the game a little bit more difficult, as you can see. It's just randomly moving around. So there is my example. Again, this is 2048 Plus that's being used on muOS firmware, and this is being used on the TrimUI Smart Pro. And thanks for watching. So here we are with my second retro recap broadcast. This is going to be on the NextUI. I've got about 7 paks I wanted to kind of show you in the tools department that actually could add to some features that are used on NextUI, on the brick hammer, or on the TSP, or on the TSP-S, or just the original brick. So what I'm going to do is we'll use the brick as my example. I believe one of the applications is not installed on the TSP, so we'll go ahead and do that. So if we go to Tools, we'll start from the top, and we've got a couple of them that I wanted to show off to you today. First one it is, get down here, is Fauntleroy. So that one actually allows you to change your fonts in sizing. So what we can do is we can select using your D-pad. There's 14 of them as a choice. You can use a view as X. So if we wanted to see what it's going to look like, that would be the example. We want to go ahead and do Y to restore it. We want to go back. We want to try a different one. So you can see here's JetBrains Mono. If we wanted to see what that looks like, this would be the example. So actually, if we go this direction, this will actually show you the fonts the right way. So going through them, you've got Orbitron, you've got Outfit, you've got Pixelify Sans, you've got Press Start 2P, which is very big, Quicksand, Raj Dahani, Space Mono, Varela Round, and then it starts back through the group. So I was actually looking at the Orbitron. I think that one's actually really cool, so we're going to go ahead and install that. Press A to install. And now, when we get out of it, my fonts have changed. So if I go over to my Super Nintendo, you can see all my fonts are much bigger now. So that's just an example using Fauntleroy. We'll go back down to the tools. We'll scroll down past that little guy. And we've got Forget About It. So we're going to go ahead and open Forget About It. We're going to be leaving NextUI. What it's doing is it's actually opening up your game time manager. So these are games if you wanted to delete your timer that you've progressed, or if you had some inaccurate progress for some of your games. See, these will show here Legend of Leisure, my Sony PlayStation. I've definitely probably played about maybe 24 minutes, not 24 hours, and I've only played it twice. If I wanted to go ahead and delete it, I could press R, I believe, A. And what you're going to do, because my icon's changed, looks like an R, but it's an A. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and delete it. I'm going to forget about it. Now it's been removed. So you could actually do a sort, where it sorts it alphabetically. So these port masters, let's go ahead and just delete them. We're going to go forget about it. Let's get this one, forget about it. So that gives you the example of how that works. We'll go ahead and exit out of that one, and we'll scroll down and we'll select another one that's actually worked. So Joe's Calibrage, it's basically a calibration program for calibrating your sticks, or if you were using the TSP, for that example, we'll go ahead and bring that guy back over here. We'll go over here to where it's located. This would work better on this device. We've got Joe's Calibrage. I'm probably not pronouncing any of these names right today. And you can see I'm going to test my sticks. You can see how I can move around. Okay. Now I'm going to calibrate my left stick. We're going to go all the way around the circle as best we can. So if we can get this to go all the way around, which is not as easy as it seems, there we go. You just got to be really at the edge of it. There we go. Calibrate it. We're going to press A. Now we're going to release the stick and keep it centered. And we're going to save it. Now it's been calibrated for the left joystick. Now if we want to go do the right, we're going to do the same thing. Got to get around that edge. There we go. Completely works. We want to keep it centered. We're going to save it. Now we can view our values, which show down here what was saved. And if we wanted to restore backup if we were having an issue. So that just gives you an example of how you can calibrate your joysticks on the TSP with Joe's Calibrage. We'll go ahead and select out of that. Oh no, LED. Oh, we've got the LED program that they've actually somebody created. And again, any of these developers doing great jobs for NextUI on these packs that have been loaded. We go ahead and select LED. Oh, and what we can do is you see the device here, and we'll go ahead and select that as well. And we should see an image, there we go, of the NextUI brick. So what we're going to do is we're going to change our settings. We've got left to right, so you can see that this is my right button, or my right button blinking, it's red. We're going to go ahead and change the color of it, so we go ahead and do Y. We can go ahead and do the settings. We can change the color. We can do speed. We can change the brightness. So if we wanted to bring it up, you can see how much more red it is. We could change it to blink, blink 2, blink 3. linear rise, breathing, and you can have speeds changed. We're going to go ahead and get out of that. Just leave it back to its natural state. We're going to go ahead again to the Y, and we're going to go to animations. So it actually has like preset animations. So if I press the helix, now you can see how the RGB lights are turned on. Then if we wanted to go ahead, and you can see that we've got down here, the little icon doesn't really, it's just these two here. So if we wanted to go to Y again, we want to go down and select. We want to go Y to our menu. We want to press animations. We could do spin. We'll go ahead and select that. And now how you can see they've changed the spinning. They're spinning around. Kind of cool. We'll leave these as they are. Let those spin around for a second. Now you've got the NextUI running on the TrimUI Brick Hammer, doing the same thing. What we're going to do is, if we see all my lights are blinking here, if I go left to right, I'm going to select my F3 button here. And what we're going to do is we're going to press Y to the menu. We're going to press X, Y to menu. And we're going to press animations. And we're going to turn it to campfire. Now you can see it actually turned yellow. Kind of cool. And on the back, you've got also like a fiery little flame from the campfire. But if you wanted to change those, you could go to L1. And as actually you can see, every time I flip it, it pops up a different little screen art. So if I wanted to do the back buttons, I could go here. And what it's going to do is it's going to select those if I was not running a theme. So if I go to Y and I go to animations and I turn it off, and now that I go to my buttons down here, what it's going to do is the top button up here for selecting, we're going to go ahead and press Y. Top bar settings, we've got white, as you can see. But what we can do is we can change it to blinking. So that just kind of gives you an example how all that works. Now we've got lights up here and lights down there. So going down the list, we're going to scroll down back into the tool store. And what we've got another application is called overlays. So this is where they've got some custom overlays you can add to your game based on per platform. We're going to go ahead and click on it. Go ahead and select out of here on the TSP as well. And we'll show you what it would look like on overlays as well on both devices. So what we've got is, let's just use Game Boy Advance for the TSP. And what we've got is previews. So you can see how you've got the Game Boy Advance logo down below. If we wanted to go with this different one here, Perfect GBA, you're going to see the Game Boy Advance as well, just showing you that overlay. We'll go one more. And you can see how it increased the font for the Game Boy Advance. So if we wanted to select it, we would go ahead and press A. Now it's been installed in my GBA cores. So for example, when I go over there to Game Boy Advance, we'll go ahead and get out of this on this particular one. Game Boy Advance. Let's just go to Comic Zone. I'll show you what will change in the menu. We're going to go to our options. We're going to go to our front end. We're going to go to our overlay. Here's the one we selected. We'll go ahead and do a save change. Save for the game. And it should have populated up. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a quit. Resume. And for some reason, it did not populate. So let's go back over to options. Go to front end. It shows we've got overlays. Let's go screen effect. None. Overlays should have been listed. Let's try this one. There we go. It was just the wrong selection. So now you can see the Game Boy Advance SP border of the overlay. Nice. So we'll go ahead and put that on pause. We'll go ahead and bring the brick back over here. So that would be your example there. We're going to scroll down the tool store again. All these paks, just like crazy. And we're going to scroll down, and another one is we've got Shaper. So Shaper is basically, let's get out of this on the TSP. I'll show you my example I've already did. Go ahead and get out of this. I thought I had it listed with my icons. That's interesting. It did not save it. So let's go over and we'll start all over with Shaper. So Shaper is actually changing these icons here. See, they're rounded, and if we go over to it, it gives us some choices. So as you can see, my banner's got these little marks here. So we're going to go ahead and do apply. It's possible because I removed my SD card and maybe a file just got changed. So we're going to go ahead and get out of it and see how what it did was Shaper changed my icons here. So I don't believe I have Shaper on the TSP. What we're going to do is we'll just do a blind run through it. We'll bring it down. We'll go over to Shaper is not on here. There it is. We'll go ahead and select Shaper on the TSP. And you can see right now, I actually did start to play with it a little bit. You can see the icons have changed, but they were never applied. So on you can change these banners. So banner left, you've got a diamond. You've got double notches. You can do a double oval. You can do an hourglass. Let's just say the banner on the left, that's the portion over here. We'll leave it as an hourglass, or we could do it as a kite. Then you have the banner on this side, which is a peanut, or you could change it to a round down. And then your button left, on some of the icons, it'll go. So what we'll do is we're going to go to apply. And we should be able to go out of this. And actually how you see my icon changed over here and how it curves up to on the right. And down below on my power, my icon changed to a little butt with a front end as well. These little puzzle pieces, kind of interesting. So we could go to Shaper again. We can change our button. We can change it to, let's say, sunburst. And maybe our round will go double notch. So then we would go ahead and press apply. And now when we go out of it, you can see the icons are more edged here. They've got little jagged edges if you wanted to change your icons. So that's how Shaper works. Kind of cool, some customization for your TrimUI Smart Pro or your brick. So you can see actually the two examples here of what I've kind of done as my design. And again, I'll include these links so then you'll be able to shape up your device. And then lastly, which I've got on my TrimUI Smart Pro, I believe, is the last application, and that is voice notes. I have not installed it on the TSP yet, but voice notes are just kind of like an audio note that you can do. We'll go ahead and select it. I've got a note that I already took. We're going to go ahead and do a record. So what they've got is they've got B for back, X to record, Y to delete, and A to play. So we're going to do a quick recording while we're just here sitting here. And this again would be using the mic off the brick hammer. Testing, testing. You can see the readout here of of how quickly the data is coming, and readout as far as the speed, and it's saving the note right now. We're going to go ahead and press A to finish. Now we're going to press A to play. Testing. You can see the readout here of how quickly the data is coming, and readout as far as the speed. And it's saving the note right now. We're going to go ahead and press A to finish. So there's that example. So if I wanted to delete my rough voice, I could just go ahead and delete it. And we've got it removed. So go ahead and delete the other one that I had created as my first trial. Worked well. So right now I have no recordings at all listed. So that's another little nice feature in the tools in the Pak Store. So again, there you go. There's about 6 or 7 paks that actually are in the tool store on NextUI, and I'm running them on the TrimUI Brick Hammer and on the TrimUI TSP Smart Pro. Again, thanks for watching.